Good evening, I'm Esteban Quintero, and our sports sticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Nebraska student athletes grabbed 117 fall academic All Big Ten awards between football, volleyball, soccer, and cross country to lead all schools, the conference announced on Wednesday. The honorees consisted of conference-high 81 football players, along with 13 cross-country runners and 14 soccer players and 9 volleyball players. The postseason honors continue to roll in for Nebraska running back Emmett Johnson. On Wednesday, Johnson was named an All-America by 4 media outlets, honoring him for his prolific 2025 season. In other Husker news, Nebraska track and field will open their indoor season by hosting the Husker Holiday Open on Friday, December 12th at the Bob Devaney Sports Center indoor track. Events are set to begin at 10 a.m. Central. And finally, in some NFL action, the Atlanta Falcons take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight at 7:15 Central. Our sports sticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Served by Olivia straight ahead to the back right. Clinton guides it to her setter, gets it back, swings. Big block, Harper Murray, 25-21. Nebraska survives the second set. Pulls away at the end. It was a one-point ball game at 22-21. Final 25-21. The final 3 rallies belonged to Nebraska.
Dix posing with it, trapped. Is he going to call timeout? It's taken away. He just took that out of his hands. Here's Sam. Here's Prager. Prager over to Hoiberg in the left corner. Starts down the baseline. Puts it up and in and one. Holy smokes. What a sequence. The takeaway on the defensive end and the finish on the offensive end by Sam.
96-78 Nebraska steal for the Huskers. Nisley to Prince. Huskers have 3-on-2. Prince underneath. Williams leaves it for Hargrove, who scores a career-high 26 for Amaya. Timeout Penn State. 1:14 to go. It's a 20-point game. 98-78 Nebraska. 1:14 to go.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome into Sports Nightly on this Thursday evening with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
That was a Badger beatdown last night.
That was a lot of fun. I was in the building. I told you I was behind one of the baskets last night.
Sit next to Coach Eckler.
Coach Eckler just walked in, gave me a nice little fist bump, sat next to me. We sat together for the whole game. I think one of his assistants was there, Emmett Johnson, who was in the crowd. Swung by around halftime. He's the mayor of Lincoln right now, walking around. He's a
at
celebrity.
women's game the night before.
He's all over the place, which is really cool. He's a very down-to-earth guy, and he's got a lot going on right now. He asked me how I was doing. I said, not as good as you, Emmett, right now, getting set to gear up for the NFL draft. But no, it was good to sit and watch a game with a coach and see how Eck was watching the game when guys were diving on the floor. He's like, give him a nice little fist pump. He was asking me about rink mast. And
did you have to tell him, don't touch me, don't touch me?
No, he was actually, I was asked about it on another radio show this morning. He's actually kind of a normal fan. Like we were right next to the student section, and they were letting Wisconsin's bench have it. And it was just like, at some point, my eardrums were going to explode. But students let students be students. They were the crazy ones. We were just kind of, he was very, it was just normal.
He's impressed with Rink Mass, though, right?
He loves Rink Mass, was asking a whole lot about him, and just, he loves Nebraska basketball.
He loves Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of why he came back, right?
Yeah.
He had a good setup at Tennessee. They were a really good special teams unit. There's a reason he's a Nebraska guy through and through. There's a reason that he wanted to come back here to take special teams to the next level.
Well, what a performance. It just was, again, from, I guess, about 8 minutes into the first half on, it was just total domination by the Huskers. And I feel like you and I should get some credit for Burke's performance because we spoke it into existence.
I think we did.
Last night before the show that he was capable of knocking down some threes from the outside, and he did just that. But he was hilarious. I mean, he's got blood coming down his chin, and he's firing up the crowd. I mean, he was loving that atmosphere last night.
Yeah, I mean, he was all over the place. Had a big block as well, which led to a big bucket, and that was I think it led to a Sanford 3, if I remember correctly, a Burkay block. And then, hits a couple of threes, and you could see after he hit the first one, right, he extends his hand, he's pumping his fist because he knew how much that meant. Sometimes, and Fred said this earlier this week when we talked to him on the coaches show, that as a shooter, he had gone through it. When you see that first one go through, it can change a lot of things, confidence, everything. And you saw him, I believe, he had 2 on the night. He hit a second one. He was 2 of 2 from 3, 4 of 5 from the floor, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, which is, there were some issues with, free throw shooting for this group, but they were 13 of 15 last night. Overall, just a really balanced effort. Again, another game where you look at rink mass and you say, just how do you guard this guy? Even on a night where he was 1 of 6 from 3, he just made a lot of plays on both ends of the floor that were a difference maker. And Sam continues to be one of those guys. Frager continues to be a difference maker. Just a lot of players. And Jared Garcia gave them good minutes last night. So you beat a Big Ten team by 30. Not just any program, not like a team that's down on their luck. Wisconsin's a pretty good college basketball program. Maybe they're figuring some things out, especially defensively, but you beat them by 30.
Yeah.
That means something.
In back-to-back games where you hold teams to their season lows. And again, both teams capable of putting up big points. Creighton did it today or the game before they played Nebraska, and so I think that's also impressive. And, it was even when I talked to Logan Isley after the women's game, she mentioned their defense. She's like, I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And, they're going to give up some threes, but those are the lower percentage shots that, but Coach Hoiberg, I did the TV show today, and he talked about, we're one of the best teams in the country of not allowing teams to score in the paint. So it's part of the defensive philosophy, and it's worked the last couple of games.
Yeah, and you look at rebounding, we're +6. I know for them, he had mentioned they're a really good first look, first shot defensive team, but when you give up second and third chance opportunities to an opponent, that's where they get in trouble. Now things get even tougher now. You're going to face a top 15 team on the road in Illinois, who's really, really good group, and now you've had the luxury of these 2 environments back-to-back, really high-intensity, emotional games, Creighton and Wisconsin. It's going to be the same, but now the crowd's going to be against you. How do you deal with that adversity to still try and find a way to get off to a fast start? Because if you think of it, so far they've had the opportunity for the most part all year to play in front of a home crowd, whether it's Pentagon, Kansas City, Kansas State.
City was not. That's a Coach Hoiberg was saying that was the one that playing Kansas State.
Yeah, that was probably the one, but still in the end, you didn't play them in Manhattan, Kansas.
Yeah, right.
So for the most part, you've had your home crowd behind you. Now, how do you deal with that when you go to one of the tougher places to play in the Big Ten? We'll see.
I've been so impressed with Braden Frager. I just, and again, Coach mentioned today, reminding that he is 18, someone that reclassified that could be a true freshman right now. And his composure in a lot of these big moments, because we went back and replayed on the TV show since the first one. We went back to the Oklahoma game and then the Kansas State game and went through the Creighton game. And there are just some times that he delivers some of the big time plays when this team needs it the most. You kind of forget watching him play that he's so young, I mean, the way that he's come out of the gate and the composure. And I know that one of the things, because he's so athletic and he's such a scorer, and they had really emphasized the last year of, hey, when you're not scoring, how are you contributing? And I think you've seen him make some really big defensive plays or some hustle plays, even when he's not scoring. And so I think that's what I've been probably more impressed with than anything, is just the way that he can contribute even when he's not scoring.
Yeah, from a scoring aspect, he had 15 last night, but had 6 rebounds and 3 assists, different ways to impact the game. And I think that's when you go up and down this roster, there's a lot of different players that impact the game in different ways. I mentioned Jared Garcia coming in and getting minutes. And for him, he's been trying to find his shot a little bit more. But for him, a really solid performance in 13 minutes, 8 points, got 3 rebounds, got to the free throw line. I also look at Akale Jacobson as somebody who just knows the role. And Sam Hoiberg's one of the more fun guys to watch on this team, and that goes for Frager as well, who has the kind of the ice in his veins already as a young guy, local guy too. That's another aspect to him, a Lincoln, Nebraska guy, to have that ice in his veins in a big environment, to have another big performance last night, but impact the game in so many different ways as a scorer, as a rebounder, and somebody who can facilitate and definitely defend.
All right, well, we've got lots to get to, including the ladies of HRN. It's been a minute, but we're giving you the boot, Kyle.
Uh-oh, I don't like it.
Lauren Cook-West going to dive into all things volleyball. Always love chatting with Lauren. So we've got a big win coming up, big weekend coming up for Husker Volleyball in the regional semifinal tomorrow against Kansas, and then hopefully a regional final on Sunday to talk about, but lots to dive into with her. And coming up in hour number 2, we've got a fun conversation headed your way as Nebraska Rifle is the number 1 team in the country.
Love it.
And they had a great fall season going into the spring season. It starts in January, but they are really, really good and a team that should absolutely be competing for a national title when the season gets back underway in January. But so we're going to hear from the head coach, Richard Clark, in his second season. So we'll bring you that conversation here coming up in hour number 2. But up next, going to talk some Husker volleyball with the Lauren Cook-West. Keep it here on Sports Nightly. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No. We'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
When the stage gets bigger and the lights get brighter, the Huskers rise to the moment, and Aloe is proud to rise with them. From every dig to every match point, Aloe keeps Husker Nation connected at home, on the road, and through every epic postseason rally. Aloe Fiber, Nebraska born, Nebraska proud. Powering Husker volleyball as they chase the championship. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. With Allo plus DirecTV plus Allo Mobile, you get the ultimate teamwork. Internet you can count on, TV you can stream anytime, anywhere, and nationwide coverage you can depend on. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no peace of mind like knowing you have a dedicated team of technology experts working for your business around the clock. Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of tech company Applied Connective. It's a privilege to serve our great state for nearly 2 decades now with managed IT, cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, and audio-video solutions. Our team understands the importance of fitting you with the right technologies to help your business perform at its peak potential all day, every day. Discover more at appliedconnective.com and go Big Red.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Well, it has been far too long since we've had a Ladies of HRN segment, so we're making it happen tonight. Lauren Cook-West joining us. Lauren, so good to see you. We have to chit chat before we can even, start actually doing the job, the work, because we got to get caught up. But love the artwork behind you, Madden's art wall. Loving the setup. I think probably the guys in the chat are gonna make some comments. They're gonna love the backdrop you've got today.
It's my future Picasso. I'm just fostering her love for art. So whatever it takes, but it brings me joy. I had to switch up the background.
And she's still a big fan of Merritt Beeson.
Yes, we have. I'm sure you're familiar with Elf on the Shelf, but we have an elf on the shelf, or an elf, and the elf's name is Merritt. So we're still riding the Merritt Beeson train, even though she has graduated. We're loving that she's a supernova now, though. But it's Merritt the elf is hanging around our house.
I love that. Oh, before we talk about this weekend, I do want to say thank you, because you had my back on the air the other night when JB started talking about Willie the Wildcat, Kansas State's mascot. And you had my back because I had posted on social media that I do not like mascots that just have the head on a human body. Like, it drives me crazy. So
Purdue Pete.
Yeah, he's
creepy.
Terrifying.
Yes. I can't. I'm right there with you.
But you let JB know that I am not a fan, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, we there's some interesting mascots, and if JB and I get bored, we usually start talking about the mascots.
Well, what did you take away, I guess, from the Kansas State match? Because not the prettiest performance, right? But found a way to win. It was still a sweep at that, but. It was a little bit challenging in the first 2 sets. What do you feel like maybe the Huskers learned in that one that they can maybe call upon moving forward in this NCAA tournament?
I think in a way they put it on cruise control, thinking that, it's the second round. We won the first round easily. We can get by in the second round, no problem. And I think K-State shocked them. They had a game plan. Their game plan was working, and Nebraska had to make adjustments as that match was going on. And so I just think it took the Huskers a second to figure out what adjustments they needed to make and then start making those adjustments. Jessica, I saw passing numbers and they weren't that bad, but when we were, live in the match, JB and I kept talking about how poor the passing was. So I don't know if the stats are wrong or if, I've just become really critical of passing, but I didn't think the passing was great. Bergen didn't seem like she was in system. You saw our offensive numbers were pretty low the majority of that match. We were pretty predictable. We relied on Harper often, which, Harper, we're going to have to do that in certain situations and she'll get us kills, but it's you want to have that even distribution. And we always talk about even distribution when it comes to Nebraska offense. And normally Bergen does that really well. And that just didn't happen against K-State. So I think they were in shock. Took them a while to adjust. I thought the passing was a little off. And then because of that, it affected the offense as well. And then just some errors here and there that, you're in tournament time. You can't afford to make errors, especially if you're playing, each round gets better and better. Your opponent gets better. So you can't afford to make those errors against some of these really good teams.
I think a lot of the stats improved because they turned it on in the third set, Like we saw it jump, a lot of those numbers jump up a lot in that third set, right?
Yeah, but the first two, the stats were awful compared to what Nebraska, like their side out percentage, for example. Normally they're in the 80s. I think they were in the 50s. Their goal is 65% or higher. Their attacking percentage, I think it was below 200. I mean, normally they're 400, 500, 600% hitting percentage. So it's just numbers that we don't normally see from this team. It was surprising. One other thing I'll comment on is their out of system setting, which that's when Bergen Riley plays that first contact, or maybe it's a shanked pass and she can't get to the second contact and she's calling for help. And if Bergen can't get to the ball, you want a libero trying to set it. And then if the libero can't set it, it's just whoever's closest. But some of the sets from Lainey, Olivia, just were a little off. You want 3 feet in, 3 feet off the net, and they were pushing them too tight. They were pushing them past the pin. They were coming too far off the net. And we really need to take advantage in those out of system situations. You need to have a perfect set to try and help those attackers as much as possible, just ease their burden, because they're going to have a big block up in front of them because it is an out of system ball. So it's higher, it's slower. The opposing blocking defense has more time to get in front of them.
That was something that Lexi Rodriguez was really good at, right?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm impressed you know that and remember that.
Oh.
She was one of the best out of system setters in the country.
Yeah.
And there's some liberos who are really, really good at it. And I'm not saying Nebraska is bad at it. I'm just saying there's definitely room for improvement. And I think they're working on that in practice this week from what I've heard.
Do you think that's why when you talk about relying on Harper, because maybe that threw everything off, that maybe it forced Bergen to have to go back to go into Harper more than what we normally see?
I think that was part of it. But again, you look at the passing numbers, they weren't that bad. So why were we relying on Harper so much? But then again, when we were live in the moment, it did seem like Harper was getting a lot of out of system swings. But, Taylor Landfair also gets a lot of out of system swings, and she didn't have close to as many attempts as Harper. So it was just a weird match, but survive and advance.
Absolutely.
That's all that matters.
And it seemed like it was a little bit of, I talked to Taylor Landfair after, and she had talked about the messaging in the locker room that I think it was a little bit of a wake-up call. And I mean, look at us nitpicking a sweep like this, but I guess that's what we've come to expect from this team. They've just been so spectacular that when they did have a little bit of an off night, I think it was something that they can look to and maybe learn from and figure out how to be better from it.
I think we take for granted how good this team is, and normally they dominate every opponent, and that's why we're nitpicking this sweep. But also, Jessica, I mean, K-State had chances and opportunities to, this was a close sweep. It wasn't like it was a blowout sweep. So I think that's why we're critiquing it, is K-State had opportunities. They had the opportunities to potentially win a set. And once you win a set, that gives you some confidence. It gives you some momentum. And then who knows what happens after that. And Nebraska really hasn't been tested in 4 and 5 set matches. So my concern moving, later on into the tournament is if we get tested and we have to play a 4th or a 5th set, some of these teams have played a lot of 4th and 5th sets, like our upcoming opponent, Kansas. I believe they've played like 10 5-set matches and have a lot of experience. So if Nebraska gets to that situation, we don't have a lot of experience there.
Let me ask you this. Is passing mental? Like why is it off sometimes,
A lot of it's mental, a lot of it's technique, a lot of it is your passing angles, who you're passing next to, who has short, who has deep, the communication between passers, where that serve is coming from, what kind of serve is coming at you. So there's a lot of different variables, but I would say mental is, definitely a lot of it relies on you mentally. And, does a server get into your head if they've have a really tough serve, and if maybe you shanked the last serve that they sent over your way, are you in your head thinking, okay, great, this server's back behind the line again. I have to pass this, and, can I get it on top of Bergen's head? Am I going to get aced? So I think there's a mental aspect to it, but there's so many other factors that play into passing and why it goes well and why it doesn't.
I've been asked that a few times, and we've talked a little bit about it on the dig, but it's, at this point, when I know, like you said, the numbers might not have seen that, but I know that I was listening and you guys did kind of note that, and nobody knows volleyball better than you and John Baylor. So I would believe what you guys say. And so I just wondered, at this point, like why sometimes the passing can be off as opposed to maybe, a hitter that's trying to attack. Like I get that maybe a little bit more than that's a little bit maybe easier for me to understand than why the passing is off any given night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's a good example of a situation that happened in the match against K-State is, I don't know what rotation we were in, but we're passing, we're in serve receive, and Terea Sigler stepped in front of Harper Murray to take a pass. First of all, T. Sigler was passing in the middle of the court. Harper was passing on the left side of the court. So if you're going off passing angles, it's diagonal. So technically, Terea shouldn't be stepping in front of Harper. Harper's stepping in front of Terea to pass if there's a shorter serve or a serve that is still deep, but shorter in terms of not going all the way to the end line. So if Terea's passing in middle back, she has Harper's deep, and then she has that right back passer, that passer's short. And then Harper, same thing. She has Terea's short, and then anything to that deep left back corner. And so Terea stepped in front of Harper and took the serve away, that ball from Harper. And Harper's a really good passer. She's put up some really nice numbers this season. So first of all, they weren't following their passing angles. Second of all, Terea stepping in front of Harper. There's probably some miscommunication happening. Third of all, it's Harper's ball. So it's just, that's a good situation or a good example of maybe how things weren't working in Nebraska's favor from a passing standpoint, on Saturday against K-State. Just people trying to take too much court, trying to take serves away from the other, and not following the passing angles, not communicating, and everything. It's that ripple effect. It just breaks down when you have one shank, and it ended up being a shank pass or maybe even an ace. And so that's a perfect example of, when one thing goes wrong, it affects the entire play.
And passing too is to what you've just talked about is it's everybody,
right.
Everybody's got to be on the same page. So, all right,
Exactly.
Well, let's talk about Kansas. Obviously Nebraska swept the Jayhawks back at the spring match, but this is a different team, right? Matt Ulmer's a really good coach. What's different about Kansas? What worries you, I guess, when you're watching and diving into the game film of Kansas?
They have a really good right side. She's the key to their offense. If you let her go off, Kansas has a really good shot at beating Nebraska. They also have a pretty good left side as well. I believe both those players are foreign. So foreign players play a little differently. They have a really high volleyball IQ. They play the game different than Americans do, and they play it really well. And so they have a good left side, good right side. And if you have a left pin and a right pin who can put the ball away, then you're a dangerous team. They've been alternating between their two setters throughout the entire season. One of their setters actually transferred with Matt Ulmer. She was at Oregon, really impressive at Oregon, transferred with him to Kansas. But they've been kind of rotating setters. So I don't know what goes into, it's kind of like our liberos. You never know if Olivia's going to start or if Laney's going to start. And I think the coaching staff just decides, okay, who's the better matchup? Who makes sense to start against this match or in this match. So I don't know what setter we're going to see. And then they don't run super fast. They run fast. But it's nothing that Nebraska can't handle. And then, like you mentioned, Matt Ulmer, just a really good coach, knows what he's doing, always has well-coached teams that go to the tournament and do well in the tournament. And they've also been battle tested. I talked about that just a little bit ago. They've played a lot of 5-set matches. So they've played really good opponents. They've had to go 5 often, and they've played in some big battles, some big matches. And so they understand, what's at stake, and they're definitely prepared for this match against the Huskers.
There also could be some fireworks in the match before Nebraska and Kansas. Who are you picking, Texas A&M or Louisville?
Oh, I'm going to say, I don't know. It's hard. I'll tell you this. Texas A&M has 2 good outsides and then a really good right side as well. And also a setter who she's really fun to watch. If you want to watch anyone, watch the setter for A&M. She moves the ball around, really athletic, just super fun to watch. But they have a really good right side who can put balls away, and then 2 left sides. And one of the left sides, she can be inconsistent, but if she gets going and gets hot, then I think Texas A&M will be able to win. On the flip side, Louisville, you have an experienced setter who was in the Final Four last year. You have a really good middle. And then you have, 2 really good left sides who Chloe Chicoine, I think she just hit 415 last weekend, maybe, and had a bunch of kills. I'm not sure on those stats, but she's been going off. And sometimes these smaller outsides, Jessica, I think we've talked about this before, the smaller outsides almost pose more of a problem than a bigger outside, because if you're undisciplined with your block, they'll go up and they'll take advantage. So if Louisville gets their left sides going and A&M's not disciplined blocking, then I could see Louisville winning. But both teams have really good head coaches, Jamie Morrison, Dan Meskey. They'll be really well prepared, and I anticipate that going at least 4, maybe 5 sets.
Another thing Lindsey Peterson brought up too, which was a great point, none of these teams that are coming in here are going to be overwhelmed by the atmosphere because they've all been in it,
Yeah.
And I mean, Kansas just this year, I know it was different, but they know what Husker Nation is like and have seen it, and Matt Ulmer's coached against it, and then Texas A&M was here, almost knocked off Wisconsin, and then Louisville, obviously with the storylines there, it's not like you're going to get somebody that's starstruck by what's being done, which can tend to happen this time of the year if people haven't been to Nebraska before.
Yeah, it's culture shock. You don't know what you're in for. Husker Nation surprises you. It's a tough place to play, but I agree. These teams will be well prepared and know what they're walking into. And I think between Nebraska's regional and the Texas regional, those are going to be the 2 toughest paths to the Final Four. So Nebraska has their work cut out for them.
Okay, well, and this time of year, I think this has been something since I've been here. It's just been really impressive the way that the entire team buys into it. Takes everybody, and at any given moment, somebody's name might be called, and it's really just the way that they've been able to move seamlessly with some players going in and out. That's important this time of year too, right? No matter what time or what might be the case or situation, if you come like last week with Ali Check, has to come in, and it just seems like they've been really good at that. That's important, really, especially this time of year, right? To be able to do whatever is asked in any given moment.
You have to be ready to go. And Ali Check's a perfect example. She came in off the bench. She relieved Virginia. Virginia was able to take a moment to breathe, came back in and did really well. And so these players on the bench, they may not see as much playing time, but they're just as crucial. And even the serving subs, Maisie Bosinger, when she comes in, she's important. So it's just, we need, Nebraska needs everyone. Everyone has to be ready to go. And you also get this point in the season, Jessica, there's illnesses going around. I mean, you never know what's going to happen and who's going to have to play. And everyone has to be ready to go.
And it's everybody, right? I mean, every team kind of gets hit by some things,
yeah.
But that time of year. So, great stuff. As always, appreciate your time. And I guess we'll wait and see. I know it's 30 minutes after the first match, but you guys might be doing some tap dancing if that first match goes long. Might be an extra long pregame show. Last year, you guys were just calling the play-by-play, right, of Wisconsin and Texas A&M.
The previous match, which was actually kind of fun. I don't mind that. Like, let's mix things up, call another match. But here's my problem with this. I don't know why they only leave. Well, first of all, I don't like let's schedule it 30 minutes after the first match. No one knows what time that's going to be at. Give me a time so I can show up, so I can be there. I know when it's starting. And the other thing is, I don't feel like they give enough time in between matches. I know they're trying to get a lot in, and it's, for TV and all of that, but I think they're allowing maybe like 2 hours or 2.5 hours. I mean, some of these matches could go well over 3 hours. So,
well, especially in these later matches, right? Like the closer you get to the Final Four, the more competition you're likely going to see.
Right. And I mean, I remember Final Four last year. I think the second match didn't start till, when did we go on? It was like 10 p.m.
It was
when
late.
we finally took the court.
Yeah.
So
especially
it's just
Eastern
ridiculous.
time too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you. I need to complain to someone.
I'll try to pass your complaints along to, I don't know who will listen to me, but I'll pass them along to somebody.
Thanks.
All right, 6:00 is that A&M Louisville game, and depending on when that one ends, it's 30 minutes. It'll be Nebraska and Kansas, but JB and Lauren will be on the call no matter what. What time, Josh? 7:30. So you're on the air at 7:30, but it could be a 2-hour pregame show. Who knows?
Well, last week we actually had Coach Cook call in, and we had a nice little conversation with him. He was eating dinner, and we said, hey, we have an extended pregame. Will you come on the air with us? And so we just chatted. So who knows what guests we'll be bringing on.
I love it. I love it.
It's, those extended pregames, you better tune in because we do some fun things.
Listen, sync it up with JB and Lauren. I know that's what everybody does. I was a little behind last because I was actually in the venue, so I was like 3 points behind. But it was still, I learned so much, and so I know a lot of folks here, especially listening to us here tonight, do the same. So thank you so much for your time, and hopefully I'm out of town this weekend, but hopefully I'm seeing you in Kansas City in a week or so.
I know. Fingers crossed we make it.
Lauren Cook-West here with us on Sports Nightly. Got to get to a break. More of the show coming up after this.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at appliedconnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole: Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
When the stage gets bigger and the lights get brighter, the Huskers rise to the moment, and Allo is proud to rise with them. From every dig to every match point, Allo keeps Husker Nation connected, at home, on the road, and through every epic postseason rally. Allo Fiber, Nebraska born, Nebraska proud. Powering Husker volleyball as they chase the championship. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick,
Slated, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's Holiday Pro Power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed program will receive 100 units of free CVA Elite soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Kyle Crooks back joining me. I just love chatting with Lauren. I always learn so much, but it's one of those things where you're like, we've only talked for 5 minutes, and then you look down and it's been 20. I'm like, I gotta get to a commercial break.
I know. You have so much fun when you kick me out of the studio, apparently.
Great.
It's good. Well, there's a lot to smile about. There's a lot to love because Nebraska is a machine that is rolling on down the tracks. You have the regional semifinal, regional final, hopefully on Sunday. At least you'll get a day in between, an extra day of rest for these players. Hopefully for the Huskers getting set to play a regional final on Sunday. These crowds are going to be wild. I haven't been to the Bob in a bit, so I'm excited to get back out there, maybe do some interviews and things and talk to JB. Haven't seen JB in a while, so excited for that.
Yeah, so Kyle filling in for me because I'm headed down to Oklahoma for family Christmas. So this is actually my last show of the week. So Kyle will be taking over.
Can you believe they're going to let me do a show by myself?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Josh is going to have to hold on to things back there because it can get rough.
I am less concerned about you doing Sports Nightly than I am you going to talk to JB about volleyball.
Talk volleyball?
No, you're ready. You're ready.
I'll just, JB, go. Just turn on the mic and go.
Oh, but again, huge weekend. I'm really, really excited about the other semifinal in Texas A&M and Louisville, and what a matchup. Look, right after the selection show, when John Baylor was in here doing the show with Danny, and he told Josh and me that it was a tough draw for the Huskers getting those two teams, because basically those were the tougher of the seeds when you line them up than the other ones.
Is that the best of the number twos, Louisville?
Yeah, well, and the threes, and so with Texas A&M was also, so again, the number one overall seed got one of the tougher roads.
Yeah.
But Texas A&M was here last year and took Wisconsin to the brink and almost knocked off Wisconsin. And so, this and I think they said the Texas regionals, the two toughest ones. But it's going to be interesting. Again, with the 30 minutes after the first match kind of situation, it's very well could be a 5-setter in the first one. I'm really interested to see who comes out of that one.
Could be a long night on Friday. So it's a 6 Central start to the first match. If that goes 5 sets, you got 30 minutes after that. It's scheduled for Nebraska to be an 8:30 first serve, probably closer to 9 o'clock than you're telling me then. That's going to be a long night. And that's tough for athletes, too. If you're Nebraska and you're playing your biggest match of the year, you're sitting and you're waiting around, sort of biting on your nails, thinking about everything. The crowd's full, and I'm sure the Husker fans will be there for that first match, too, to scout and look ahead. That's not an easy spot for the athlete to be in, to be that second match of that regional semi.
You and I talked about this off air yesterday, but Harper Murray just swagged out her team, got them a bunch of stuff, Adidas stuff. I think she forgot our halls.
Yeah, I think so.
We got to stop by the Huskers radio.
We good for her. That's awesome.
Really cool.
She's one of what you call the icon athletes with Adidas, along with Dylan Raiola and obviously
Emmett recently had some posts with Adidas. So
okay, yeah. So she's obviously one of the biggest college athletes that they have. That was really cool. Taking care of her teammates, even the managers got some stuff too. You got
Lauren compared it to like an NFL quarterback taking care of his offensive line,
getting like golf carts for your offensive line or something, something like that. Watches, yeah. No,
there
that's
was
cool.
one year. I think it was Adrian Peterson got his offensive line like snowmobiles.
Yeah, and it's always a gift that if I'm an offensive lineman, I'll be like, thank you, but could you just give me a gift card? Give me a $20,000 gift card to Toys R Us. That's to me that's more tangible than a snowmobile.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, gonna get to a break. We're back to wrap up hour number 1 next.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no peace of mind like knowing you have a dedicated team of technology experts working for your business around the clock. Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of tech company Applied Connective. It's a privilege to serve our great state for nearly 2 decades now with managed IT, cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, and audio-video solutions. Our team understands the importance of fitting you with the right technologies to help your business perform at its peak potential all day, every day. Discover more at appliedconnective.com and go Big Red.
When the stage gets bigger and the lights get brighter, the Huskers rise to the moment, and Allo is proud to rise with them. From every dig to every match point, Allo keeps Husker Nation connected at home, on the road, and through every epic postseason rally. Allo Fiber, Nebraska born, Nebraska proud. Powering Husker volleyball as they chase the championship. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at appliedconnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Count on Medica to protect your team with affordable group health plans, flexible benefits, and the close-to-home care they want. Husker Nation, you're not just covered, you're cared for. Learn more and get a quote at medica.com. Welcome back. Final segment here of hour number 1 of Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. Well, we talked about this in the last segment yesterday, but it got crazy with the Michigan news with Sharon Moore being fired. And I guess what do you have more of an inclination on who they might go after?
So I said yesterday the first name that came to my head was a name that nobody even threw out there as a possibility. I just threw like Marcus Freeman out there. But I think he probably, if anything, would go to the NFL before he would leave Notre Dame. It seems like gaining more steam if you pay attention to the Pete Thamels and the, is it Pete Nakos? Is that the other one? They all Pete. But it is Kalen DeBoer. But that goes to our point of it's going to be somebody, a big name from a Power 4 blue blood that now vacates that job. And I was walking down the concourse as I was leaving the office and this news came out is, okay, if Kalen DeBoer leaves for Alabama to Michigan, Alabama opens up. There's one guy who's always wanted that job at Alabama. His name's Lane Kiffin.
So I said that yesterday of him going to Michigan.
But DeBoer seems like that's the biggest name that's out there that they're going to look to. I don't get.
We're going to get another bidding war for Lane Kiffin.
I guess DeBoer is, if you read the tea leaves, I'm sure his agent is throwing it out there that he's not all that happy with being the head coach at Alabama. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
You lose a game and you're public enemy number 1 now. Is it that different at Michigan? You don't beat Ohio State. Jim Harbaugh for a long time didn't beat Ohio State. They wanted him fired until he won a national championship in 2023.
They wanted Ryan Day fired until
he won a national championship. And for some people that wasn't enough because you lost to Michigan. So how much does that expectation change? Is it a thing where maybe DeBoer's family's not as happy in Tuscaloosa? But that's the name that always seems to, because remember, that was a Penn State rumor, right? That DeBoer was going to go from Alabama to Penn State. And if you're just looking at it from a 30,000-foot view, that move wouldn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense. So it leads me to believe, okay, there's something to DeBoer maybe not being all that happy at Alabama.
It's funny, too, because there's a lot of folks saying, oh, the coaches and the salaries are way out of hand, and it's just getting crazier.
I think another name, too, Clark Lee at Vanderbilt just got an extension. I could see him still moving on and taking a job like Michigan. It is a premier job. Clark Lee probably wasn't in the running for a Florida or an LSU, but I could see the interest in a Clark Lee at Michigan.
It'll be interesting.
It's crazy.
Interesting.
And again, like you said, that's going to open up another job.
Well, there's also some more coaching vacancies with the Husker football staff, some names that are being floated around and some rumors. And again, we are supposed to be talking to a few that have been already announced here coming up in the next few days and even maybe early next week. But we're going to talk more about some of those potential hires coming up next week. There's also football availability tomorrow as well. So
that's right.
You're going to play some Phil Snow tomorrow,
Well,
right?
some Phil Snow. I haven't heard Phil talk in a while, so it's excited to get him to the podium. He is a football guy through and through.
I'm just fascinated to see how these next few weeks go with this group, right? I mean, there's so many young players, some guys potentially opting out, who's going to play, but some opportunities that are very much available for some of these young guys to really take advantage of it and shine on this stage.
I was surprised when Coach Rule said that for the most part. It's Emmett, Rocco, maybe a few guys that hadn't played this year that are going to enter, or, Emmett and Rocco aren't going to play, but maybe there's a few guys that might enter the transfer portal that aren't necessarily a part of this group, like Deshaun apparently is going to play. So
yeah,
it seems like a lot of the guys are going to play.
It's good news for the Huskers. All right, so again, coming up, hour number 2, we are going to talk a few of the names that are being floated around to join the Nebraska football staff. We'll also hear from Richard Clark, the head coach of Husker Rifle, the number 1 team. It's kind of a complicated sport, but we explain it for you because I didn't know a lot of it either. So I asked some of the questions so that we can understand a little bit more. But the number 1 team in the country going into the spring season. So lots of exciting things happening here, and we're going to talk to Richard Clark coming up here in hour number 2. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Good evening, I'm Esteban Quintero, and our Sports Sticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Nebraska student athletes grabbed 117 fall academic all Big Ten awards between football, volleyball, soccer, and cross country to lead all schools, the conference announced Wednesday. The honorees consisted of a conference-high 81 football players, along with 13 cross-country runners, 14 soccer players, and 9 volleyball players. The postseason honors continue to roll in for Nebraska running back Emmett Johnson. On Wednesday, Johnson was named an All-America by 4 media outlets, honoring him for his prolific 2025 season. In other Husker news, Nebraska track and field will open their indoor season by hosting the Husker Holiday Open on Friday, December 12th at the Bob Devaney Spencer Sports Center indoor track. Events are set to begin at 10 a.m. Central. And finally, in some NFL action, the Atlanta Falcons take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight at 7:15 Central. Our Sports Sticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Served by Olivia straight ahead to the back right. Clinton guides it to her setter, gets it back, swings. Big block, Harper Murray, 25-21. Nebraska survives the second set. Pulls away at the end. It was a one-point ball game at 22-21. Final 25-21. The final 3 rallies belonged to Nebraska.
Dix posing with it, trapped. Is he going to call timeout? Oh, it's taken away. He just took that out of his hands. Here's Sam. Here's Frager. Frager over to Hoiberg in the left corner. Starts down the baseline. Puts it up and in and one. Holy smokes. What a sequence. The takeaway on the defensive end and the finish on the offensive end by Sam.
96-78 Nebraska steal for the Huskers. Nisley to Prince. Huskers have 3-on-2. Prince underneath. Williams leaves it for Hargrove, who scores a career-high 26 for Amaya. Timeout Penn State. 1:14 to go. It's a 20-point game. 98-78 Nebraska. 1:14 to go.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to University of Nebraska basketball. Kent Pavelka, along with Coach Jeff Smith, the Huskers of Nebraska, undefeated at 9-0 on the season and in the top 25.
Mass 2-3 dribbles, back cutting is Lawrence, extra pass, left corner. Hoiberg, 3-ball good. Hoiberg, the star of the game on Sunday, hits Nebraska's first 3 at 7-5. Frager's got it. Couple of dribbles, nothing for him. Out it comes to Hoiberg. Between the legs, the drive inside. Got knocked, no foul. Out to Frager, shoots the 3. Got it! Bang! Arango! 14-13, Nebraska takes the lead.
You know, I believe in these guys. I believe in our group. We have experience. We have age. And, they're battle-tested. And right now we're playing with – I love the swagger we played with tonight.
Cale Jacobson in the ball game. Throws it inbounds to Hoiberg. Comes left. Changes speed. Drives the ball. Puts it up and in. And then one. He was fouled on the play by Austin Rapp. And the Huskers take a 3-point lead at 19-16. And the crowd erupts. Drop through for Boyd. And here comes Jamarcus pushing it on the other end. Out it comes. And Sanford's 3. Got it. And that was because of the push of Jamarcus. He flattened the defense. Sanford in one motion strokes her down. Sanford driving, Butengel 3-ball. Got it! Bang, 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 Burke. Butengel came into this game 2 for 20 from 3, and he nails that 3-ball. Rhodey, Winter, driving, shot blocked by Butengel, retrieved by Mass, down the floor, Jamarcus pushes the ball, crossover, kick out, Sanford 3-ball, no good, offensive rebound, Mass with the putback. What a sequence! What a sequence! 56-39, 17 points to lead. 56-39, Rhodey deep in the paint on the Big Ten logo, misses. Rebound taken down by Frager, coming in for Butengel, who's in the locker room with a bloody lip in the right corner of the shot. On the way, a good by Sanford, and the Huskers are up 59-39, up by 20.
The biggest thing I look at against a Wisconsin team, we outscored them 44-24 in the paint. That's hard to do against a Wisconsin team, but I thought our guys really did a good job of executing and attacking the paint when the shots weren't there.
Prager inbounds it to Sanford. Bump, no foul. Janecki had to hit him hard. Here's Hoiberg with the basketball. Left sideline, Sanford. He drives the ball against the bigger defender, spins, puts it up with a left hand. Oh, what a finish. What a finish with a left hand. Sanford with a pro move finish there. Prager's got it. Works on Blackwell. 19 on the shot clock. Nebraska leading at 72-48. Garcia's got it out near the timeline. Cutting is Prager. Puts it up and in. And an and one. Janecki fouled him. Prager, look at him. Smiling ear to ear. Man, he enjoys it. Now left sideline, hash mark. Prager dancing around. Step back three. Got it! Banger, ringer, ringer. Braden Prager. 84-51, and Prager's got 15.
You have no idea. You asked if it was relief. I promise you, as a guy that shot the ball, to see a couple go in when you haven't been shooting well, it is a huge relief and a confidence builder. And, it's good to see that hard work pay off for BK.
Can the Huskers execute here in the half court and get one? Prager spins away from his defender, comes to the right, steps back, 8 on the shot clock, out to Buchengel. Another 3 on the way. He got that puppy down! 2 threes in this game by Buchengel, who came into the game, he had hit 2 of 20. I love you, Berkey. Prager, Jacobson, Prager, fakes right, comes left, down the lane line, stops, kicks it out now to Blue. One dribble left, steps back, 6 on the clock, shoots the 3. Got it! Kendall Blue, my baby. And the Huskers are at 90 points. Kendall Blue's first 3 of his Husker career. Here's a drive inside and shot blocked. Was that Bolus?
Yep.
I think it was.
Yep.
Nice job by Justin, and the Huskers will dribble it out. And Nebraska wins it by 30 over Wisconsin. 90-60, the final score.
I liked our talk even after this game in the locker room. Like, hey, we're supposed to defend home court. That's like Big Ten. You have a huge advantage at home, and now we got to go on the road and get a tough one.
Welcome back, all the victory sounds of another victory montage from our very own Josh Hilkelman putting that together, but Kent Pavelka is going to go viral again. We already put out the video, and it's already blowing up.
Yeah, I don't know if anything's going to be as good as the first one, but
well,
we'll get close.
He did get out of his seat in this one.
He did warn me when I first put up the camera before the Creighton game that I do get up and I do stand up and pump my fist, so we got one of those in there for the new video.
Don't you think no matter what happens that in this one, I feel like for the men's team, they're going to still be in the top 25 since they split going into, they beat Creighton, but they split with, Wisconsin and
You're saying if they lose to Illinois.
If they happen to lose.
Yeah, I mean, their net, I think they moved up a bunch in the net. I have to get the exact number, but they might be in the top 15 net ranking right now.
I think they're going to win, but I'm just saying.
Yes, no, I get exactly what you're saying. If you lose a road game to a top 15 team, that shouldn't drop. They should get some sort of bump by beating Wisconsin. I understand it's a home game, but you won by 30 points. The spread was 1.5 going in, so that tells me that the people that do this for a living that try to predict had this essentially as a coin flip going into the game last night, and you won by 30 points. So if anything, it's going to help you. Now, you don't want to go on the road and lay an egg, right? And if you lay an egg, maybe you stay around the same spot that you are now. But I think if you play a good game, you're going to move up regardless.
You talked about it earlier, though. Really, the first true road test that this team will have, and it's going to be a tough one. But they've played pretty decent on the road, though. That was the challenge going into the last couple of games for Coach Hoiberg, is that the team actually hadn't played as well in PBA.
I think a number that would stand out to you when you go on the road is, what's your assist to turnover ratio like? How much are you giving away free possessions? That's been a number for me that has been so solid all year long. And
We're top 20 in the country.
Yeah, assist to turnover ratio has been top 20 in the country consistently throughout the year. If you can keep that turnover number low and you don't give the opponent more possessions, then I think you'll be in a good spot. I look at a few guys in a road game like this. Obviously, Rink stands out, right, with everything that he can do, the veteran nature in which he plays the game, the comfort in which he plays the game. But you look at a Jamarcus Lawrence, a Sam Hoiberg. Those are two guys at the guard spots that You're going to want to slow down the tempo of the game when things get a little bit crazy. Eventually, Illinois is going to go on their 7-0 or whatever 10-2 run to maybe take a lead, get the crowd into it. But can you lean on your veteran guards along with Rink in a roaded atmosphere like that to settle down the game? Those guys, for me, will be key when you talk about a true road environment.
So Sam Hoiberg has been in the top 10 of assist-to-turnover ratio in basically this entire season. He's 9 right now. It's pretty incredible with as much as he's playing and as much as he is pretty aggressive, and a lot of times in some of these games that he's taken such good care of the ball. And I asked Coach Hoiberg earlier, I said, does Sam get pissed if he has one turnover? He said, yes. Yes.
Yeah, he's such a good player.
I think he could score 20. And if there's one turnover, he'd be really mad at himself for it. That would be the one number that would stand out to him more than anything else on the stat sheet.
You get him on a mismatch with a big that has to guard him on the perimeter. He'll slice and dice you in a second. Get to the basket, lay it in. His craftiness, because he's a smaller guy on the floor at that level, his ability to weave through cracks and just get to the rim, and he's a good finisher around the rim. A lot of guys can get to the rim, but they can't finish amidst chaos. He is somebody who can get to the rim, but also can finish around the rim.
I think we're seeing, too, how cerebral this team is, too. I mean, I think you've got a lot of very smart basketball players on this group, too, Coach Hoiberg talked about it from the beginning of the season. We're not the most athletic group, so we've got to do other things and get deflections and all that kind of stuff. But I think Cale Jacobson, coach's kid, obviously very smart. You can tell he makes very good decisions most of the time. Rink is one of the smartest basketball players I think we've been able to see. And, Sam Hoiberg and Jamarcus Lawrence has done such a good job. Coach Hoiberg continues to compliment him, even though he doesn't score maybe as much as some of the other guys, but he racks up the assists. He does well in the defensive end. He does so many things that maybe you don't always see on the stat sheet.
Dare I say it, but it is a team that's built for an NCAA tournament. I've talked to coaches in the past. I talked a lot to Todd Golden last year when I covered the Gators, and they went on to win a national championship. When you have a veteran backcourt, that's such a difference maker deep in March to make a deep run. This team, you check that box off the list. They have young impact players, role players, but they have a veteran backcourt. And then you have a veteran big who is not erratic, doesn't turn the ball over, can stretch the floor, can put the defense in nightmare matchup situations. They check a lot of boxes for a team that can make a March run, that can win an NCAA tournament game, that can win two NCAA tournament games, because I think it starts with having a veteran backcourt and a big guy that you can rely on.
And I think all that being said, they're not satisfied. And Coach Hoiberg talked about that too, that this team's been really good about moving on to the next and not getting too caught up in the last game or looking too far ahead. They've been pretty good about moving on. And even when I talked to Jamarcus Lawrence the other day, I mean, they're constantly pointing out other things. Well, we can do this better. They know that they're by nowhere close to being a finished product. So, and look, it just gets harder from here. The Big Ten Conference is no joke. So there's a lot of fantastic teams that are in national title conversations throughout this there's a lot of them this year in college basketball, but there's certainly going to be some tough matchups ahead, so they can't rest on their laurels. And I think this is a group that, as you just mentioned, is veteran enough to understand that.
What's funny too, Jess, is you called the game against USC Upstate. This is the same team that played Winthrop in USC Upstate, right, where they had some issues. They were down by double figures against USC Upstate. Winthrop gave them heck on so. This is the same team that had some of those same issues. All of a sudden, they're blowing these teams out by 21 and 30 points, some real legitimate opponents. So it just shows how fickle basketball can be. I think what's shocking about this is it was December 10th last night. When a team hits their stride, this is usually late February, March. This is what a team that hits their stride looks like. They've kind of hit their stride already on December 10th. Now it comes down to, and Fred knows this, how do you guys sustain this? I think luckily they have enough veteran leadership where they can sustain this.
Okay, so let's talk some football now, because there's been some names circling that potentially could be added to the Nebraska football staff. We heard Coach Rule, when he met with the media on Tuesday, mention that there could be a couple more additions, and Coach Orich, the defensive coordinator, potentially bringing in somebody to add to the staff. And then he also kind of teased maybe an addition to the offensive side of the ball as well. But today the name started circling around, one that I'm very familiar with, and Roy Manning was at Oklahoma when I was there, came as a part of the defensive staff with Alex Grinch under Lincoln Riley, then actually ended up going to USC with Coach Riley when they moved on. Then when Alex Grinch was let go, that's when Roy Manning. He's been at San Diego State with Coach Orich, but he played at Michigan. Is a great coach. His players absolutely loved him.
Yeah, that's it. And it looks like, just from a resume standpoint, you know him better than I would, but just looking at his track record and what he can bring. He coached the edge rushers last year at San Diego State. That's an area that just has to get better. We'll see if it improves in the bowl game, but finding a way to affect the quarterback. So Coach Rule knows exactly what this defense specifically needs, and Rob Orich, I'm sure, has gone through and watched all the tape and all the games from this year. It seems like first of all, he's very versatile. He's coached a lot of different position groups in his time, and he's been in a lot of big stops, so has that experience at the Power 4 level. But now you want to bring in a guy that can really help bolster this pass rush with the guys that you have, and hopefully the guys you can get in the transfer portal.
He played linebacker at Michigan, but again, he's coached multiple positions. He was defensive backs with, I think he coached corners with Coach Grinch and with Lincoln Riley's staff.
Special teams, outside linebackers, cornerbacks.
He's coached
running
all
backs
over.
At Cincinnati.
Yeah.
He's done a lot.
So, again, but just a football mind. So it sounds like that will be a guy coming in with Coach Orich. And then the other name that's been circling the last few days is Lonnie Teasley, who was the offensive line coach for South Carolina, but a guy that has got some ties to the staff here at Nebraska.
Yeah, so it looks like Jeep Wade perhaps might be bringing in Lonnie Teasley here. That's a name that's been out there. I think what's good is, and of course was an assistant coach under Rule at Temple in 2014, so there's the link there. Coach Rule had hinted to the point that there's going to be another offensive impact hire that we didn't know about. Whether it's this or not, I don't know, but it seems like it's a really, really big name. We all
great recruiter from everything that I've
That's
I've
a huge
seen.
part of it,
yeah.
right? Is you have to be able to go out on the road and you have to be able to win minds and hearts. And I think even as much of the coaching, can you bring in a communicator that's willing to go on the road and get some of the high-level talent?
I also think with the offensive line, it's so important to develop. And there's a lot of guys in that room. And there's only so much of one person to go around, and you've been out to practice. They split off a lot of times, and so maybe the 2s and 3s might go up against the 1's defense, and then you've got your one offensive line, your first group going up against the 2s and 3s on defense. So they split to go. A lot of times it's completely mixed, but when they're doing game prep, they're split off, right? And so to have potentially two eyes on the offensive line, and especially some young, really exciting talent in that room, I think it's great to get multiple guys that are on the same page trying to coach up that room in particular.
Yeah, say what you want about Donovan Raiola, but did a really good job of bringing in a lot of young talent that eventually is going to have to take over, especially with the amount of guys that are leaving now from the offensive line that you currently have. I'm sure you'll bring in one or maybe two guys out of the transfer portal, but this is a homegrown position more than anything. It is really extremely hard to bring in offensive line out of the transfer portal. One, they're really expensive to get. Certain ways you can allot the amount of money that you have, but it's really tough to bring in a really good offensive lineman. They're really high priced, but can you develop a Jason Machachak, a Preston Taumua, Grant Bricks, Jake Peters? Those are just some names that are tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more guys after that. Now, we'll see how many of those guys stay here, but there's a really good stable that Donnie and others have helped put together with really good talent in that room that just needs to be developed.
So, again, we'll see. Again, nothing official, but those are the reports that are floating around, so we wanted to chat about it. And, again, we'll have some football availability tomorrow. I doubt Phil Snow will confirm or deny any of that, but I'm sure as we go along here, for sure, probably by next week we'll know of the official announcements.
Maybe by kickoff. What's our first game? Ohio on September or whatever. We'll know before then.
Oh, all right. Well, let's go ahead and work at a break here because we got to talk some Husker rifle with the second-year head coach of one of the top programs in the country, Richard Clark. Keep it here on Sports Nightly. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
When the stage gets bigger and the lights get brighter, the Huskers rise to the moment, and Allo is proud to rise with them. From every dig to every match point, Allo keeps Husker Nation connected at home, on the road, and through every epic postseason rally. Allo Fiber, Nebraska born, Nebraska proud. Powering Husker volleyball as they chase the championship.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick.
Slate It, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's holiday pro power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus zero down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers. Starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. Direct TV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same. A wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no peace of mind like knowing you have a dedicated team of technology experts working for your business around the clock. Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of tech company Applied Connective. It's a privilege to serve our great state for nearly 2 decades now with managed IT, cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, and audio-video solutions. Our team understands the importance of fitting you with the right technologies to help your business perform at its peak potential all day, every day. Discover more at appliedconnective.com and go Big Red.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. I'm Jessica Coody, and it is exciting times for Nebraska Rifle coming off an undefeated 12-0 fall season, ranked number 1 in the country heading into the spring season, and to talk about all of that and the exciting things, exciting athletes that he has as a part of this Husker Rifle program. Richard Clark, in his second season as the head coach, thank you for being here with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And I'll just edit this out if you want to pull that mic a little bit closer. Sorry, I should have told you that before we started. My bad. And I'll just put that together. Sorry, Josh. My bad. All right. Well, what a fall season. What'd you think, and what was working so well for this team to have the fall season that you guys had?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a little bit better season than what we had anticipated coming into the season. Have a very young group this year, predominantly a lot of sophomores, a lot of freshmen that we're relying on in that Counting 5 group. But came in, a lot of talent, a lot of young talent, but also a lot of talent that's seen some of the largest stages that they can be on in those junior ranks before getting here to college. So I was able to see some of that shine through. But throughout the course of the year, the big thing we've been focusing on are doing the little things right, of doing the good fundamentals, doing the things that they all got taught day one behind a rifle, just at a really high, really consistent level, and being us while doing that.
So your second season, how does it feel different here in year 2 as opposed to what you were kind of establishing in year 1?
Absolutely. Year 2, it's definitely nice to be back and kind of have my feet underneath me, know the department, know the community around us. It's nice to be able to kind of have my philosophy building and growing in the department and in the team. It's nice to see that coming through, and it's great to see the girls buying into it. I think that's the biggest thing that we've seen from year 1 to year 2 is the maturity in some of our returners increase and really show in their leadership to some of the young ones coming into the program this year, as well as just the amount of the girls that are buying into what it is we're trying to do here as a program.
What has it been like for you to join this athletics department? You're a decorated athlete yourself and had a heck of a career, but when you joined as a head coach at Nebraska, what is that like as a young coach?
It's a little intimidating. I got here late the summer before I started with our first season, so I was kind of drinking from a fire hose, trying to run the entire year. But at the same time, it's a neat department to be a part of. Part of what brought me here is Nebraska's got some of the best departmental resources, some of the best community, best fans out there when it comes to collegiate athletics. So kind of looking at Nebraska, it was one of those of why not us? That's kind of been our motto as a coaching staff since I've been here. Kind of why not us? What are we doing, or what should we be doing to be that national championship level program? Because we've got the department behind us to go out and do it year after year.
Okay, so I'm sure we have some listeners that are very familiar with the rifle competitions and how that works, but we probably have a lot that don't. And I've been asked about it too. So if you could just maybe give us a breakdown on what it looks like in a given competition and how you go about, I guess, getting these scores that you guys are racking up.
Yeah, absolutely. So our courses of fire in the collegiate realm include both small bore and air rifle. Our small bore discipline is comprised of 3 different positions: kneeling, prone, and standing, shot in that order, and we shoot 20 shots per position. So the girls get 15 minutes of sight and preparation time prior to that kneeling position starting. We flip them over into what we call record fire for those 20 shots of kneeling, and then they're on block time from that point forward. So they get an hour and a half to shoot their 20 record kneeling, change over into the prone position, shoot their 20 record prone, change over, sight in for standing, and then finish out the match with those 20 shots of standing. We typically give them about a half-hour break before we jump into our second discipline of the day, which is air rifle. And that's a 60-shot standing match that shot over a course of an hour and 15 minutes. So typically on match days, we'll run 2 different relays. That first relay will start about 8 a.m., and then that second relay will be the exact same thing, starting a little bit later in the day, just so we can get through all of our athletes. And then as far as the scoring piece of it goes, all of our teams get to squad 5 athletes in each gun. So we've been running 6 guns, or 6 people, to make up our counting 5. So our top 5 scores will go in. We take the top 4 of those 5 out for the team score. So each discipline is made up of a total score of 2,400. combined for a grand match aggregate of 4,800 would be perfect.
Wow. So I noticed Husker Rifle on the social media platforms, you can give them a follow, but they put out a graphic that over the fall you guys had one of the highest, I think, broke a record for air rifle. Was that an emphasis going into it to continue to improve in that area?
Absolutely. As far as the record go, we went through our first 8 matches without firing a match that we didn't shoot a team record in this year. So it was really neat to watch the team continuously move that bar forward. Ultimately that had to stop at some point, but we've stayed very close to that top range of where we were. In general, small bore has been our dominant gun this year. We're the number 1 team in the nation in that discipline, and I believe number 6 in air rifle. But as we kind of have closed out this fall, heading into the spring, I know that air gun discipline is really the discipline we're going to push for to really try and bolster our score a little bit higher than where it is now.
Because it takes both, right?
It does.
You have to be consistent at both?
Yes, to be good at the NCAA level, whether it be a team or an individual basis, you've got to shoot both guns well. Small bore is definitely the gun where you see more separation between your top teams or between individuals. An air gun, all the scores are getting crazy high nowadays, to where if you're not shooting 597 plus as an individual, you're most likely not competitive for that NCAA final at the end of the year. But in general, a lot of the matches are won in small bore. So it's been great to see us shoot well in that discipline. But in order to really close out those tight matches against some of the top teams in the nation, we've got to close it out with air rifle.
So you've got 3 athletes that are in the top 20 for aggregate scoring average, including Emma Road, who also broke a number of records here over the last few months. What is going so well for Emma right now that she's been able to be? She's number 3 in the country.
Yeah, no, Emma's having another great year. She had a kind of standout year last year, kind of figured out how to shoot the big numbers, how to play with the big dogs in our sport. It's been great to see her continue that success into this year. But the big thing for Emma is just enjoying the fact that she's behind a rifle. I mentioned earlier of us staying true to who we are, that why piece of why we're in our sport. What do we do on the line? Why do we show up day in, day out and work the way we do? And for her, that's just enjoying the fact that she gets to shoot. Our pre-match for her pretty much every day is just enjoy the fact that you get to shoot a gun on a Saturday. And that's really kind of been her rock the entire way through. But Emma's really, really great when it comes to consistency piece too. Every day comes in with the intentionality that we look for in our athletes, pays attention to the little details day in, day out. And I think she sees the consistency because of that.
Wow, that's cool. Caitlin Sullivan, number 8 in the country. Tell us about her and why she's been able to have the kind of performances she's had.
Yeah, absolutely. Caitlin's a perfectionist. That's the best way to put it. Have had lots of conversations with her where, we try to give her credit for certain things and she's telling us, hey, it's not good enough. I need to get here, get there. So I think just her mentality of I'm here to work, I'm here to get better, and until I'm the very best, I'm not content. And even when she is the best that day in practice or that day on the match, she's always got something to critique or always kind of come back to the drawing board with. So again, I think just kind of that relentless pursuit for excellence, relentless pursuit for perfection from her is really what's driving her performance forward right now.
It's not an easy thing to balance either. It can be almost too hard on yourself, right?
No, absolutely. And that's one of the biggest things in our sport that differs from a lot of others out there. That, a lot of other coaches can tell their kids, try another 10% harder, or get mad and try harder, do this better. We're a sport where we're telling our kids to try 10% less a lot of the times because we're trying too much, that we need to kind of work our way back into that comfort zone or into more of a trusting mindset and let the process we build every day in practice work for us.
Wow. Okay, and rounding out the top 20 is Carly Seabrook. Tell us about her.
Yeah, Carly's had a lot of great success as a high school shooter. She was part of Team USA's Junior World Cup this past summer. So it's been a really great small bore shooter. Comes in with a lot of talent, a lot of experience. And I think the biggest thing that we've seen change with her since she got to Nebraska is just her ability to work. That, she's got range access, she's got coaching behind her, where she's allowed to come in and do her. There's not a limitation as to what she can do anymore, and she's looking to run as far as she can with it.
I know you've signed a couple recent superstars to the program that will be incoming in the future, but what does recruiting look like for you? And have you found that it's a pretty, not easy, but that it's a fun sell for upcoming athletes to come here and want to be a part of this program?
Yeah, absolutely. Recruiting's been a little bit of a challenge as far as just learning what our philosophy is around it. Who are we looking at? Is it just the score? Is it the personality? Is it a combination of all those things involved? And that obviously is going to change maybe a little bit as we start out now versus where we're going to be at in 5 years from now. But Nebraska's, like I said earlier, one of those spots where once we get a kid on campus, everyone's kind of in that why not Nebraska kind of mindset. I think the department we have here, the resources we put behind our athletes, and not only the resources, but the people who are manning and providing those resources, really sell what this place is for our recruits.
Wow, that's cool. Okay, so you were telling me before we started this interview that you've got some athletes too that are competing to potentially be on Team USA. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So we've got our USA Shooting Winter Air Gun Championships coming up in a couple of weekends out in Colorado Springs. It's one of our routine kind of national championship matches we have each year. But we've got 6 of our athletes going out. They'll compete in 2 days of 60-shot air rifle matches scored decimally, which is a little bit different than what we do collegiately. But then the top 8 will advance to a final. And then of those top 8, your podium finishers will be named to the national team.
Wow. Awesome. Okay, so what is the next few, I guess, couple of months look like for this program? Because, again, you have the fall season, and then you'll pick up and have the spring season where you will compete in the NCAA tournament, the nationals, for a national championship, all of that. So what happens between now and the start of the spring season for you to be where you want to be with this program?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of it is rest. We kind of, like you said, go through Thanksgiving with our NCAA season. We've got the majority of the team doing their winter air gun piece here through this next week. But then once they get back from finals, we tell them go home, rest, enjoy the time with family. We're a sport that's kind of a marathon throughout the entire school year. We're not only kind of just a 2-month season or a 3-month season, that they're going from day one to the day they leave here. So when we get back in January, we'll come back about a week early. We've got a nice winter camp kind of planned out for the girls. We'll do some fun things there, get the rust kind of knocked off and kind of restart our momentum for that spring season. And then once we get into it, it's a sprint to championships. So we've only got 4 matches before we hit PRC qualifiers, or PRC championships, and then the week after that is our NCAA qualifiers, which are 2 of our largest matches of the year.
Okay, so a lot of momentum, obviously, coming off the fall season. How much do you believe this is a team that can compete for those trophies?
I think we're one of the ones to be in contention for it this year. To say we are the team, I don't know if I want to put that out there and jinx myself of it, but I expect us to be fighting there at the end. We're a very young team. We're a very talented team. I think if we continue to do what we do, as we've done throughout this fall, and stay true to who we are, execute on our fundamentals well, we're going to be a team there at the end. It may just be a matter of what step on the podium we are.
Wow. That's awesome. Okay, if fans are listening in and want to either get involved or learn more information, where would you point people to be able to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely follow us on all of our social medias. We've got a great social media staff behind us that's always highlighting stuff on the team, whether it be on the range, off the range. So it's a great spot to stay true with the team, stay up to date. But then also any of our home matches, where our building is finally back open. We've got a brand new range that's getting finished up here over Christmas break. So starting in January with our JSU matches, I believe on the 31st and 1st of February, we will have spectators not only in the building with us, but also hopefully on the range during those home matches.
So what is a range like? Is it, because again, we hear all the different coaches come in here talk about their facilities. We talked about golf. They've got a new facility. Where does Nebraska's facility and range stack up? I mean, if it's new, you gotta like it. You had to put your thumbprint on it, right?
It's a beautiful range. So it's going to be one of the best in the country once it's completely finished up here. But brand new range, looks great. Girls have been loving shooting on it. I know they've been very happy to get back into that facility and very grateful for having it.
Okay, so again, easy to find them, Husker Rifle on social media and also huskers.com. You can look up the schedule there, but you can watch in person, right?
Absolutely. So, and then with that, we always have our stuff pushed live online. So if you follow our website or follow our webpage, along with those social medias, they should be posting that live link for targets each weekend as well.
Awesome. Great stuff. Congratulations on a fall season, and best of luck as you guys head into the spring season. And we'll look forward to hearing from some of your athletes here coming up soon.
Absolutely.
And the head coach, Richard Clark with Husker Rifle, the #1 team in the country. All right. Got to step aside. More of the show coming up right after this.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the propane tank on your grill first, before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same: a wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. What a fascinating conversation. Again, I feel like maybe when I was younger, I didn't want to offend anybody by asking questions, but I think a guy like Coach Clark, Richard Clark, is open. Hey, ask me about it so I can help educate so that maybe you are more likely to come out and support us. So he was totally cool with whatever I threw at him about explaining how the sport works.
Yeah, he's a really, really young guy.
Yeah.
So he got his bachelor's at Kentucky in 2000. He was a standout at Kentucky. 2022. And he got his completing a master's in business administration in 2023. So, wow. He's a super, super bright guy, young guy to get to land here at Nebraska, super young. Now, does he have a spot for Searles maybe to be a part of the team? Because I don't know, Josh, Russ, if we can get more, we can talk about
that would be
more
great.
eligibility
we should send
for
Searles out on a try out rifle type of situation.
Look, that's the first thing I thought of.
Hey, you want to talk about continuing to go viral on the Huskers Radio Network social media platforms? I feel like that might be the next step. What a great idea. We should try to do that.
Massive human being on the rifle team. Just can't even, I'm sure they take like a van or this certainly can't even fit to get to the events. And but no, I think that would be awesome. That's a content idea. You have Searles try out for the rifle team and be told he's not good enough.
Put that on the idea list for sure. But, I was asking him too. We didn't really get into this as much, and Josh, we were part of the conversation when he was telling us, I was asking about the Olympics. So we talked about the competing for Team USA and for the World Championships. But for the Olympics in LA, with rifle, there's not a lot of spots or opportunities, but he talked like we've got a couple that could compete for being on the Olympic team in LA, which is exciting.
That's interesting. Is he somebody who might throw his hat in the ring to be a part of the Olympic team?
No, he was talking about his athletes. But
that's
cool.
That's cool. I mean, to be an Olympic athlete in any sport, especially I would assume rifle, there's a very small amount of spots. Do you know how many off the top of your head? Probably don't.
I think there's only 2.
How many countries?
Oh, I thought you meant spots. I don't know
countries that might compete in the Olympics and how big that event is. I'm sure it's pretty. I've seen it on, and they usually put it on like CNBC, but I always watch it every year.
You didn't call play-by-play of that?
I think I could give it a shot. So what's funny is
Bill Dolman did speed walking.
Really? How did that? There's some
race walking, not speed walking. Sorry. I apologize.
Softball's back in for 28.
Yeah, and going to be in Oklahoma City.
I did see this that USC is going to play their home games in 2028 at SoFi. Nebraska is going to be at USC that year. So when the Huskers are in LA to play USC in 2028, they'll be playing at SoFi, not in the Coliseum.
Wow.
Because of the Olympics.
Interesting.
Saw that today.
Well, and so we got Husker Rifle, big things ahead. I know there's a lot of exciting sports that are about to start their seasons. Men's gymnastics always competes for titles, wrestling. I mean, the list goes on and on. But you basically have gone all in on Husker bowling, and you're going to be the Husker bowling.
I think I could do that.
Representative here on the Husker Radio Network.
Oh, yes, that's right. I did. I think we'll have the head coach in at some point for an interview. Met him out at the Hall of Fame banquet, just sort of saying, hey, have you been on Sports Nightly? No, Jess has never asked me to do
that is not what was said.
But no, met him for the first time, and I really, as you could probably tell listening, is I should probably know the name of the coach off the top of my head, but you put me in a weird spot there, so I do want to give him a shout out.
But no,
that's Paul Klempa.
Yeah. Paul
okay, sixth season. It was good to meet Paul. So I met Paul, and I'm not great with names originally, but that was the first time I'd ever met him. He said he's a listener to, hopefully not this show tonight, but he's a listener to all the football games, and that he enjoyed listening to us. So I appreciate Paul. And I'm the representative. Somebody's got to step up for bowling. I never bowled though.
So we'll talk some Husker bowling too. But just to point out, I mean, along with Husker Rifle, there are some teams that when we move on to January, when we get through this, we got a couple now in volleyball and obviously 2 really good basketball teams that are in the top 25.
52-0, by the way.
But moving in, when we get back from the new year, there are some teams that are going to be really fun to cover over the next few months.
Yeah, I think softball overall too, when you go probably moving ahead too far, but that's a preseason top 10 team you're looking at. Baseball is going to be really good this year. Excited to do some games with Ben and Nick. Really, hopefully up until June, late June, you'll have some Husker athletics. Hopefully we can get the Huskers down in Omaha to play in a World Series. Could you have dueling ranked basketball teams? Can we have dueling World Series baseball, softball teams this year?
I think you're speaking all of our languages, Kyle. All right, got to get to a break. We're back to wrap up the show next.
Because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Contracting your premium diesel just got energized at Central Valley Ag. With CVA's Refer a Friend program, you and a friend can each earn $100 back. Refer a friend. That friend contracts a minimum of 1,000 gallons of premium diesel, and you both get a $100 credit. Power your performance with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and Roadmaster XL. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When the stage gets bigger and the lights get brighter, the Huskers rise to the moment, and Allo is proud to rise with them. From every dig to every match point, Allo keeps Husker Nation connected at home, on the road, and through every epic postseason rally. Allo Fiber, Nebraska born, Nebraska proud. Powering Husker volleyball as they chase the championship. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Final couple minutes left for us here on this Thursday night edition. And again, my final show because Kyle's going to be taking over. Although I do think you're going to run some of the slice, right? We're going to hear from
I mean, most
me
of
and
the
big
show is
dog.
probably going to be you anyway. But who we kidding? We have to get a quota of Jess in there to make it interesting.
But so yeah, you're going to be covering volleyball, so we'll have all the coverage there on the social media platforms, and you'll have an hour and a half tomorrow leading into, again, it's kind of wonky. We don't know exactly the time, but we do know that first semifinal starts at 6. And so the Huskers game against Kansas will start in 30 minutes after the conclusion of that one. But big weekend out there for Husker volleyball. Should mention women's basketball back in action on Sunday, 11 a.m. against Illinois State. We'll be on. That's an early one.
Early.
10 a.m.
Make sure the kids are up. Get the coffee ready.
10 a.m. on the pregame show. Or, sorry, 10:30. 10:30, my bad, 10:30. And, of course, men's basketball, big one at Illinois on Saturday, 3 o'clock tip. So we'll be on the air 2 o'clock for that one. So busy weekend here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Busy bee. I might do an hour and a half of hot takes tomorrow, to be honest with you.
Joke of the week?
Finally,
Joke of the week. I'm putting you on the spot here.
Finally, I get to spread my wings and just toss out hot takes. If I don't have a job when you come back, then you know I really went in.
I'll be listening and tracking.
Yes.
But we'll be back for, again, full 2 hours on Monday, and probably more news ahead to talk about, and hopefully talking about a Final Four trip for Nebraska volleyball. But we'll be back again hour and a half tomorrow leading into pregame show with John Baylor and Lauren Cook-West for coverage of Nebraska volleyball in the national semifinal. Or regional semifinal. Hopefully national semifinal next week.
We're getting there.
Regional semifinal. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks to Josh for helping us out, and have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Contracting your premium diesel just got energized at Central Valley Ag. With CVA's Refer a Friend program, you and a friend can each earn $100 back. Refer a friend. That friend contracts a minimum of 1,000 gallons of premium diesel, and you both get a $100 credit. Power your performance with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and Roadmaster XL. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick,
Slated, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's Holiday Pro Power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus zero down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue